It's a mystery to me too, what we're going to talk about in here. I quite like this one. Let's see what we think when we listen to it. Yeah. I think it'll be the final thing. So a little bit like the same theme of getting lots of triggers. I've read a few people's posts and things recently, and Carlii Lyon, who I'm very excited we're going to have on here, and I love her stuff. I messaged her back after her recent one and said, her recent post, and said, oh, you just always say the perfect thing at the perfect time for me. And the topic she was talking about was her being, everyone telling her she's impatient, right? Her husband, her mentor, everyone's like, settle down, you're impatient. And of course, that's what I'm like. And been trying to find more peace in the not knowing and more peace in the limbo. It's really hard. Like I think she said it in a particular way where she said, she didn't describe it as hard. It was more poetic than that. Yeah. Just see if I can find it quickly.
But not knowing is key. It absolutely is. I'm trying very hard for that
I reckon you're really good at it though. Like when I think of you.
Well, it's like we were talking the other week about I know, and then when you know.
You know, yeah.
I dip in and out. It's like I know this is the key for me, but fuck, I want to know.
Fuck, I want to know too. And it's like we both know the path is right.
Yes.
Like we're not heading north when we should be heading south. But I'm a bit worried I'm on a wonky trail off to the left, and I'm trying to get on the highway, I'll actually read you this thing because she writes very well. Yeah, okay. So I'm practicing patience. So this is an email she just sends out to people with different topics. So Carlii Lyon, as you'll hear about when she comes on, is an international publicist. She used to be Miranda Kerr's publicist. Oh, wow. She's gone on to do personal. This woman's wonderful, and she's gone on to do personal branding. She just recently shared, I'm not going to hide it anymore, I'm into the woo-woo, and talked about tarot and spirituality.
Amen.
It was wonderful. So she says, hello there, I hope you're well. I am impatient. My husband tells me, my mentor, even my energy healer. As a publicist to the core, I try to rebrand it as ambitious and see it as a badge of being a go-getter, but it is what it is, impatience. For anyone else suffering with impatience, here is the problem. Just because things aren't moving at the pace you want them to, doesn't mean they aren't moving. Put it another way, your judgment of progress isn't always the reality. The invisible impact of the things you've been working on may not always be obvious, but that doesn't mean they aren't working. I am practicing, in brackets, and I feel your sister, with great effort, going with the flow, trusting the timing, listening to my intuition. It's helping me stay calm, remain centred, and make better decisions, which ironically leads to getting more done. Impatience, on the other hand, tends to lead to overwhelm, frustration, and bad decisions. That's the one we call grasping, or I call grasping. When the time is right, things can happen quickly, life can change for the better, stars align, and everything comes together as if out of nowhere. Moral of the story, take a big breath and enjoy the process. Life has a funny way of knowing when you are ready to be, do and have all the things you're working towards. I hope this helps. Warmest wishes, Carlii. It certainly does, Carlii.
Love
you.
Carlii.
You're so generous and wonderful in what you share.
You just see me squirming there.
Both of us, man. Trust. So on this same topic, I had my session with Lachie the other day and I say, I've been in limbo for a very long time and I get triggered when other people know what they're doing and I don't know what I'm doing and all of this. And he goes, what do you actually want to do? And I said, well, that's part of the mystery. But fundamentally what I want to do is I want to make a difference. I want to do it doing stuff I love. I want to make people laugh and help them shift stuff they want to shift, right? So I like being funny. I like having things that will make a difference. And I do want to have an impact in the world, but not by giving up my own life and being miserable, by having a good time. And then the bonus is people get what they get. Anyway, he and I, we're not exactly having an argument at the moment, but he has challenged me to speak again. And I told him I don't want to. And I said it kind of like that. Yeah. I may or may not have stomped my foot. And I said, I'm not ready to. I'm too worn out. I did it for too long. And he said, why do you think you're worn out? And I said, because, every time I did it, especially in years gone by earlier, worry what everyone thought of me, doing topics I did or didn't like, a lot of energy put out, trying to win people over. And I kind of went, fuck them, I'm not doing it. He's like, yes, no. And he said, so, what I want you to do is be able to speak as you.
Yes, Lachie.
So, look, the last couple of times I've spoken at big stuff, I've been me. And so I've enjoyed it a lot more, but I've also been worried what people think.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's try and have you do what you do and enjoy it and do it as you. So I said, okay,
that's a challenge.
Second half of this year. I said, I'm not ready yet, second half of this year. I've got a big talk coming up with teenagers, which is hilarious and terrifying, and it's a good way of practicing this thing he and I are talking about. So I said, that's already in the calendar in September. I'm doing that. I can use all your healing grace as I do that. Then he said, I want you to do a live podcast later in the year and have a guest and promote it. And interview someone that you can get a level of publicity and stuff. That's awesome.
I'm getting worried on your behalf.
I feel like that you're my...
I'm feeling your fear on your behalf.
Thank you. So anyway, to be honest, I'm not scared exactly because it's what I've done for a living for 20 years and I can do it 99% of the time, and I have had a couple of quite outstanding failures, but 99% of the time I know I can put on a good show. And that's the thing. I know I can put on a good show versus I want to do it and I can do it just as me.
Yeah, and I think if I'm getting what Lachie's challenging you is this like, no, you need to really do it from you. You need to not do it. You'll get a good show, but getting a good show coming from here, like what you're doing here, really.
The last I feel quite defensive because the last couple of times I spoke, I was being me. And that's why I was like, I'll do those talks. But then that industry kind of changed and then they only wanted executives. So when I was doing my big talks, they didn't want some blowing like me, even though that was silly because it got a very good outcome. But I understand it's difficult times financially. These big conferencey mobs want to say we've got the CEO of Wesfarmers, not this woman you've probably never heard of.
I think the more that you speak as yourself, the more you'll get known for your own message. And I'm reflecting on our interview, or your interview, that I just happened to sit in on, with Michelle the other week.
Yeah.
And I think what I took away from that whole thing was talk about a person who is speaking from their heart.
Oh, yes.
You couldn't find a more authentic person.
Nope.
Through and through.
I mean,
she obviously talked us through her experience of how she got there.
Yeah.
But I could listen to her all day.
Of course you could.
So
I basically want to move in with her, but it'd be inappropriate.
I think maybe that's what Lachie's saying, is that you have that too. You need to let it wild. You need to let it loose. Look at your face. I can't believe. Yeah, that's so interesting because I thought, Tam doesn't need to do speaking anymore. She's done that. But
I have done that.
He says that like that. I'm like, ooh, that's juicy.
But I feel a bit rushed because I'm quite enjoying having a little break and I'm a bit worn out from it all. But I don't think he's up for me having a little break.
No, he's nasty. He's cracking the whip.
So he's giving me an opportunity to speak at an event with him.
Oh.
Oh.
What are you afraid of, Tam?
Well, I don't even know what I'd talk about. He invited us to speak as Discern.
Yeah.
And that we know how to do that, and Andy can absolutely do that.
Yes.
He said, Andy can talk, but you have to talk for 5 minutes. So I rang and left a message for him today and said, here's one idea of what I could talk about, but I'm not sure. I don't know. We're definitely not putting this out.
He's got you in the squib.
No. And you stop laughing. It's like you're enjoying it.
Well, I'm excited for you.
But why do I have to speak publicly? Like, why? Why? Like, especially if I'm not ready and I just want to hide out and be here and write my book and...
Yeah, interesting.
Why do we have to do it so quickly?
Interesting to fiddle around there and, like, think about what is it that you want to say?
Well...
Like, really? I mean, apart from what did we do the other week? The soapbox that we cut out.
Yeah, we cut it out because then I had a healing session and realised I didn't want to yell at everyone.
Apart from that, what do you want to say?
Well, the difference I want to see in the corporate world is leadership coming from love, but that's also a bit soapboxy. Then I don't mind telling the story of my experience with Lachie, because I thought I could do an intro to him for his talk and say, look, I'm one of the people, but I haven't decided.
I like the first one better.
Which one? Leadership from love? Oh, we've got wrap up. Grayson and I had this joke, and I said to him on one episode, throw the wrap up sign at me. And he said, I'll put it in front of the camera and then it'll go black. Well, that was a very messy way to end things, and now I feel uncomfortable and I don't know.
Do you want to talk about something else?
No. It's so funny. Speaking of getting triggered, there's a theme happening on LinkedIn at the moment where people are being authentic, but the thing about it is there's been a few posts where people are like, I wouldn't normally share this, or this feels quite vulnerable, and then they'll tag the person who told them to do it. So part of me is very excited that people are risking authenticity because I've been banging on about it for a long time. And part of me is like, oh, now everyone's being authentic. It's that same part of that other thing.
Wow.
We're going to have to do some very serious editing of this episode. I feel uncomfortable. I don't look good. I shared my shame. I'm unsure what I'm going to do with Lachie around speaking. We got to polish this whole thing up, man.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Are you trying to get me to stop talking?
No,
because I've gone into a mode.
I don't want to.
Is it because of the wrap up?
I don't want to miss anything on the board. I can't see the board.
I think you can hear that the speaking stuff's unclear, so it'll be interesting what we talk about next, because, of course, I'll figure it out, because I always do, and Lachie will help me figure it out, and everything will be wonderful.
With the happy ending.
Happy ending. But, yeah, I think the sort of feeling how you're feeling, and this last part of this episode is perfect because me literally being in the weeds as I talk about this topic is what I or he or anyone that wants people to have greater peace is challenging people to be in and deal with, right?
Yes, and I'm reminded too of the War of Art, where, you know, you're great. Lachie might be onto something. Say your greatest speech that you're ever going to do is on the other side of this, but the resistance to doing that is so strong, so strong, and that resistance. So sometimes the greatest thing can be the biggest challenge. You know.
Well, the problem is I trust him.
Yeah.
And he's on me like white on rice to do this talk. I'm like, why? Leave me in my room and I can come here. See, this is public. I'm talking. I just happen to be with you in your house.
I know, same with me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Safe place talking.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And write a book. Authors sit in their beautiful studies and write, and then they can. I said to him, you know, if I want to talk, I can. If I get success with this or with the book, I can go and do a talk about it. Wonderful. But I want it to be on. I feel like in Pretty Woman, I say when, I say who. That is how I feel.
This is the same with me with my improv performances.
Okay.
So I've done 3 different classes, and it's only this 4th class that I've actually performed.
Hooray.
All the others, I've created resistance. So I got COVID once, and then I was house sitting, all these excuses of why I couldn't do the end of thing performance.
Right.
Because I couldn't control what that was going to be.
See, but you took 4 times. Why can't I take 4 times?
You may take 4 times too.
It's true, I can. Do you reckon in hindsight it was better to wait, or you could have done it the first time?
No, what happened was the last one I did, which was musical improv, I was so in love with it that nothing would have stopped me. Like, I was so even though I was scared of it and I had a lot of resistance to it and everything was there.
Yes.
I was so connected to this musical improv class that I just had to do it. It was just an expression of myself that needed to come out, whether I wanted to or not, and whether I was good at it or bad at it. I almost didn't care anymore, because I thought, if I don't do this, I'll never know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas the other improv classes, I had a lot of fun.
Yes.
And so I made up all the excuses about, I just do it because I enjoy the classes.
Yeah, and I've got COVID. I mean, I have to be responsible.
I have to get up early tomorrow, so I can't do this. So all the excuses came out, all the resistance.
Okay.
But I was scared. I was scared.
Yeah, I know, but you said when you loved it enough, you had to do it. And I think that's a useful subject for me, because if I think of talking as myself, I don't have the subject, the call to this is what I need to talk about. The closest I have to it is talking on behalf of my experience with Lachie, and the drive to do that is to let people know just how good he is. And I don't know if he needs that, and I don't know if that's not just an old pattern of mine of service. But in terms of what do I want to talk about apart from that, I want to talk about what we talk about. I want to talk to the guests I want to talk about. But in terms of having that as a talk, I think it's not calling to me because the subject is unclear.
You haven't arrived yet. You haven't arrived.
No.
There's a theme, there's a thread you're pulling on.
Yes.
And when you pull on that one that's your deep connection to, that you have no choice but to speak about, that'll be the thing that carries you, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's like, well, I know how to talk. I know you want me to be authentic, but I don't even know what it is that I would talk about.
I feel that a little bit like that way with my book, where I'm writing stuff, but I have to sit down to write, otherwise nothing happens.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure I've found the thread yet.
Yeah.
But unless I sit down to do it, I'm never going to find the thread.
Well, that's right.
Which is what the War of Art
the
guy says.
freaking like the Rumi when he says the path will appear as you step on it. It's not there before you step. You got to walk. You got to walk with no proof there's a path.
This is correct.
And that's the good note to end on. Start walking without
people.
knowing there's a path.
Start walking.
I think as I listen to people at the moment, I think there's a lot of people similar path, walking on a path that doesn't exist yet and being brave about it.
Yeah, let's be brave.
Let's brave.
Have courage.
And have a good time, you know.
Yes. Yes,
definitely
we will
a better
have a good
time. Definitely a better time doing this than stuck in something other. Okay. I have to say one more thing. Okay. We'll keep it or we won't keep it. In my meditation with Lachie yesterday or the day before, he often works with an old photo that comes up, and the photo that came up, I wasn't a child. Normally I'm a child. It was when I graduated from my coaching diploma in 2010, and you talked to the person in the picture, and when I told her, she was in a very particular time at that time, very stuck around a lot of stuff. The coaching diploma was kind of the happiest and freest thing, but everything else was not how she wanted. And as I told her what had happened between now and then, I laughed a couple of times because it was like, this can't even be true. Like, it's so good. So much good has happened. So many wonderful things. And a bit like Carlie's saying, I think what can work for all of us as we're on the path is go, it doesn't feel like we're moving forward. But when I did that meditation, I was like, holy shit, so much good stuff has happened. So much so as when I was speaking to this older version of myself, she literally said, well, I'll trust you because you're me, but it doesn't sound like it could be possible. So again, back to the theme at the start of the show, realising we're only here for a short time, a lot is working. And for those of us that are trying to have happy lives, we've already got a lot that's so wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
We're just ambitious for the best and most beautiful version, but
and
a lot of miracles have happened. How quickly we forget.
I was getting so frustrated. I was like, I haven't done anything this year. And then I sat there and thought, I've got heaps of stuff.
Hang on. It's like I said to myself when we were starting Discern, if I can have an independent, successful business, I will consider myself a success. Discern has been successful for 3 years plus. I then went, that's enough of that. What's next? Like Sean Acor, we push happiness over the cognitive horizon. What's next? What's next? Let's do a celebration of what's now as we continue to work on. Everyone out there who's listening, think about, even sit down and write this year, all the stuff you've done. You will be very impressed by yourself.
Yeah. All the love we have in our lives.
All the love. All right. Love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.